Hey detectives, welcome to the crew. I'm Sea Lord Jenda, and this is my Let's Play of Disco Elysium. In the last episode, we had some terrible dreams and found out why our ex left us. So there's some psychological trauma for us. Now let's go catch a killer. Beginning to think I might know why Harry's an alcoholic, folks. That was a fun conversation to have in your dreams every night. Hey, Kim. I'm sobbing, probably.
You're up quick. How was your sleep?
Well, let's solve the fucking case.
Are you sure you're okay? You thrashed around and you bolted up, half covered in blood from your wound.
Well, to be honest, it was total annihilation, Kim.
I did not want to wake you. Perhaps I should have? Was it a job dream?
No, Kim, it was an ex-wife dream.
The lieutenant nods solemnly.
Yeah. Let's comb the damn island, centimeter by bloody centimeter.
Okay.
It's the next step in the task chain. And as my ex-wife pointed out, everything works in chains, so let's go. Fuel in the generator. Zoom in.
This old cylindrical generator. The lieutenant assists you, holding the canister up to the fuel tank as you tilt. Dark brown, viscous fluid pours out, and the room fills with a chemical smell. There's a red starter switch on the side of the cylinder and a start rope on the other side. The lieutenant flicks the switch.
Pull the rope.
The recoil start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters like an old warhorse before settling down to a rattle.
That should do it.
Sweet. To the controls. Let's hope these do what we need them to do.
A dim golden glow animates the console. Faint, like a ghost light. Urgence ouvert reads one dial key. Allumer reads another.
It's on. Turn emergency open.
Automatic boot.
Emergency
The
open.
blast door opens with a series of clicks. A shaft of light appears, then widens as the light shines in.
Okay, new area. Door opened. A lot of blasters.
After you.
What do you think is
I
there?
don't know.
A thin wisp of smoke rises from a charred black fire pit. The wind picks up, then dies down again.
You reckon we're gonna get into another fight?
Don't worry. I have a gun.
I also have
I
a gun.
know. It was not easy to acquire.
Let's go.
A
Wait,
dim
there are
golden
actually.
glow
Can I push the
animates.
interior light?
The lighting in the room turns on with a sizzle, a dim ambient orange. The dial slides under the dusty glass, dark and silent, despite the power being on. You make out defunct stations on the UKV frequency. The words "failed insula" are written on the band.
Insular. This is an off-air radio computer, I believe, used for military communications.
It's an air-gapped system, an off-air military model. Its circuits are nearly impossible to bend, i.e., it cannot be remote controlled.
Alright, lights are on, door is open. Let's roll. Down into a deeper... No, outside, actually. Yeah, fair enough. What's this? What's that? Small white flowers blossom all around. Maybells. Rubber dinghy. It's deflated. Broken. Maybell's like the one that was on the roof. Although, if the shooter shot from here, I don't know how the Maybell would have gotten there, but... No, that's the shooting place. I don't know how big this island is, but I don't think it's that big. I think we've covered probably half of it already, at least. Oh, shit. Hi, buddy. Hold on. Is there anything else before I talk to him? Because that looks very much like our sniper. What's up, man? You've got a rifle.
An old man wearing tracksuit trousers leans on the frame stock of his rifle. He gathers a big ball of spit in his mouth, then spits it out into the extinguished fire before him. He raises his black eyes, hooded by creased eyelids, to meet yours. Unclouded by cataracts, his eyesight is sharp.
You got good eyes, man.
My eyesight? Yes. Helps me see all the shit.
Nice gun you got there.
It's not nice. It's a piece of shit. But it gets the job done.
Bell McGrath.
It's a 3-Angong
Oh.
446.
Southeast Samaran made. Exotic. Must be defunct too. No modern rifle manufacturer of that name springs to mind.
A
Okay.
Samaran rifle. How did you get hold of one?
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Sinyao commune. Military aid.
Pats the rifle.
It has stayed true to him. He can still make it sing.
Oh, so he's that old. To be fair, he would only have to be, what did we say, 44 years ago? He would only have to be like 65 or 70 to be a veteran of that war. Sinyao commune?
You heard me. It's good now. Like chalk, white from the ball.
His gaze turns inwards.
He's right. Almost no one remembers there was a third metastasis of the world revolution in the Safre Empire, extinguished in '06.
It's not wiped from the board. I remember it.
They wouldn't like hearing their name in your mouth. Damn dog.
The time will come to win his trust, comrade. It is not now. You need to take care of the gun first.
Close the blast door?
I did. And you opened it. How?
Build the generator. Use the console.
I should have burned that console down.
He shakes his head. I just know I was coming.
Reactionary rock and roll music.
Whoops.
Playing on the water.
Told you we shouldn't play sad FM.
It wasn't rock and roll. It wasn't reactionary. It was cool.
The fascists were right about rock and roll. It is degenerate.
Oh man.
Hip gyrating mental illness music.
Now, this guy's not with it at all. You the fire guy?
You what now?
Tell a couple
I
of
can't hear you.
tell a couple twins to put out their fire.
I may have. All sorts of little rats have come sniffing around, trying to give up the position.
The position sounds like a hiding place.
Clearly.
Fire guy. Regressive bourgeoisie henchman. Can't even talk like a grown-up.
And you put the gun down, man.
The lieutenant pulls his
All right,
pistol
Kim.
from the holster.
It's just a
You
bit peaceable.
a glorified night watchman. This is a service rifle. I can only lay it down before an enemy commander of corresponding rank.
Alright, just keep it down while we talk. Okay. Kim is not okay with this. He aims his pistol square at the man's head.
Put it down now, sir.
Or you're gonna blow my brains out before you question me. To hell with it. It's a walking stick anyway. It's out of bullets.
The old man lays the rifle down, carelessly, and looks at it laying there.
Like an amputated limb in the sand.
Who are you, man?
My name is Josef Lilianovich Dross. Political Commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol.
You've been living on this damn island for 45 years, buddy?
I am a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my termless surrender.
His eyes turn to the reeds again, dead and dull.
There, Behind them, across the delta, the Insacom building. Coalition government, Insulindian mission control.
The commune of Ravachol? Do you mean the ICM? Your holdover from the...
From the Insulindian Citizens Militia, the army of the revolution. I was recruited in Jamrock in '07, trained in the École de Contrôle Orient, and consigned to emergency defense duties in '08. I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the commune had fallen. Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself and resumed partisan duties.
51 minus 8 equals 43.
Been on this island for 43 years?
No. I've been on other islands, too.
He looks into the fire. A wisp of smoke rises from somewhere between the charred logs.
I was in Resurrection until they turned it into a spa in '18. Then I was on E48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. Then I came back here. That was 22 years ago.
You said you deserted your unit?
I was just 16 years old. 15 when I volunteered. I had a lapse of faith. And of courage, too.
Lapse of
You
faith?
could say I misunderstood the historic role of the proletariat and thought Mazovian socioeconomics were fallible. For a second, I doubted the irreducible laws of historic materialism. A second is all it took for
What?
reaction to take hold.
I think maybe you were just afraid, man.
It's the same thing. You haven't seen it. Not really. Not naked. It's impossible not to be afraid.
And this was... when?
The lieutenant instinctively looks to his notebook, but does not take it out.
May the 13th, '08. 44 years ago. The horizon was black with coalition airships. Their petroleum rose to the sky, and it looked like it formed the clouds. Storm clouds. When they started shelling, it was dark magic.
Dark magic?
The combined might of international capital. All at once, all the greed and terror in the world tore into Revachol. It lifted streets from the ground and turned houses into ghosts. We were in the flak tower,
Gestures toward it.
huddled on the floor. The artillery was 80 kilometers away in Ozon, but I knew the commune would fall. We would all be turned into ash. So I said I was going to the map room.
Ceased.
A terrible shame, still within him. The lobes of his ears are red with it. The shame and smallness of what he became.
Didn't go to the map room.
No. I climbed the chain link across the water and hid inland, in the bunkers there, like the weakest of the weak. A mouse, frightened of the ordnance all night, and the sound of the rotors in the morning, whirring.
He looks at the sky. Slap.
Airships. I climbed out into hell. The landing was complete. The chain was submerged. I had to swim back. The fortress was half submerged too, shattered. They'd all drowned in the lower levels or got torn to shreds above. The anti-aircraft gun had malfunctioned. So had I. I left them without ideological direction. It was real. I'd seen it. I'd seen it in reality.
Seen what?
The mask of humanity fall from capital. It has to take it off to kill everyone, everything you love. All the hope and tenderness in the world. It has to take it off just for 1 second to do the deed. And then you see it, as it strangles and beats your friends to death. The sweetest, most courageous people in the world. You see the fear and power in its eyes. Then you know.
What?
That the bourgeois are not human.
Always.
I had to fight it. I had to never stop.
The old man falls silent. His black eyes keep piercing your skin as he looks to some great distance behind you, shaking his skin slowly, retreating from it. What is this island?
It's not an island, Dwat. It's a defensive fortification of the commune of Revachol. And I am its last surviving defender.
What was it used for?
The congenitally deformed King Philip II built it to restrict access to the Bay of Revachol. We captured it in '02, retrofitted the fort with an AA gun to defend against an airborne landing. Against the whole world.
You mean the landing?
Coalition military called it Operation Deathblow. I later found out on the radio they called it Deathblow. You're one of them. Tell me, who speaks like that? We had 50 million people on Caillou alone.
The coalition just speaks like that.
Iblis,
Iblis?
the black-eyed angel.
Have you survived all this time?
How does anyone survive? I steal
Please steal.
supplies, vegetables. I collect rainwater. It's the life of a dog, not a human being.
He coughs once more, then puts his hand on his belly.
How is your health, Mr. Dross?
Doesn't seem great.
I've been throwing up blood since winter. Red, like beetroot. Been passing it in stool, too.
He does seem frail. Good for his age. More like 75 at 65. Trouble putting on weight could mean cancer.
Could be. He hasn't exactly been living super
The
healthy out here.
RCM can provide medical services. You need to be looked over.
I need to die. You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all they give you. Toy guns.
Have you coped mentally, would you say,
I
buddy?
haven't. I have holes in my brain. Years missing. Others filled with pain only. A decade of...
His eyes roll into his skull and back.
I don't even know what. Inferno?
I have holes in my brain, too.
No wonder. All your minds are rotting from the radio waves.
Oh, buddy.
I watched the traitors of this city turn the lights back on. More and more each year. Ruins glittering in the dark like a fucking merry-go-round.
Yeah, this guy's nuts. I mean, he's not any better than, like, the Japanese holdouts from the
It's
Like-
disgusting.
43 years is crazy. He looks down at his shoes, his face parched from the sun and the wind. There's a wince of pain in there somewhere. Have you concealed
It
yourself?
was hard in the tens. I didn't have partisan training. They were searching for stragglers, those bloodhounds. Floodlights on the water at night.
There were posters, campaigns.
We communards still hoped, and they needed to snuff that hope out. The East capitulated. Martinez and Cold City were turned to dust. But Jamrock, Forburg, even Coron, and Boogie Street, of course. Those fucking kips had Marsov coursing through their veins. And others too. Some cordons of Revachol was still fighting. There were cells. I tried to contact them. Soon they all went silent. The frequencies dead.
How'd you get between here and the mainland?
At night, I used a dinghy. I only went after dark then. When I got to the city, I stayed underground. Patrols, you lot, The commons, too. They'd started snitching.
In the city, you move underground?
From bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I could walk straight into that town if I wanted. I just...
He falls silent, his gaze fixed on the shacks huddled together across the water. Been in the bunker under the Feld building?
The propaganda bunker. I used to, but not anymore.
Propaganda bunker?
They stored leaflets there. Broadcasting equipment, too. Made broadcasts, I think. Propaganda officers. I buried them with their leaflets. They killed themselves. 2 young boys.
Killed themselves?
A lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. No need to go underground anymore. It's better in the ruins, on the ground.
You ever been to the weapons cache under Sausage Lane 22B?
So you finally found it. There must have been a small squadron's worth of arms in there. Elmer Graves, right?
They were?
Useless now. Rusted away.
Yes.
So you've been there?
Sleeping. Some nights. Ammo scrounging on others. Those McGraves were shit, even before they corroded. Some had bullets in the chamber, however.
You feel the dots connecting. Little dots on the map he's walked across.
You smoke Tiamutiri cigarettes?
I do.
Ever smoke them on the mainland?
They're good. Plenty of tar. I like that boy on the pack, too. Reminds me of the last century.
So why don't you just walk to the
I
mainland?
don't want to. They're all traitors. Pigs, rabbits, and dogs. Men without ideals are only animals.
This man is broken.
The old man looks across the water, at the city, the ruins, the motorways rising above it.
You said this is your termless surrender?
You're with the RCM, the coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol.
We're with the RCM. Let's leave it at that.
Let's. You represent the Moralist International, the enemies of humanity who took this city. I represent their adversary, le Parti Communiste dans le Monde. Take me to them as a prisoner of war. I have relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. You bulldoze them all to a mass grave for trying to free humanity.
Buddy, I realize you haven't really done anything in the last 40 years, so it feels pretty recent to you. But I was, in fact, barely, if at all, born when this happened, so you can't really blame me for that.
A spray of blood from his mouth on the black charcoal in the fire pit. Rene, the royalist on the coast, said,
You never signed the Revacholian Instrument of Surrender.
Liberal reactionaries signed that instrument. Traitors who should have been burned alive. I answer to the Communist Party.
Is that part of why you've been here all this time? Because the party didn't surrender?
He just wipes the blood from his chin.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I've been pretty pro-communist this game, but that's pretty insane.
You're insane. Radio shows, speed racing, sporting goods. None of it is real.
So you're a bloody communist
No,
soldier still.
I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong to the party, not the army.
You said you were trained and assigned to the defense crew.
Trained in historical materialism, then assigned as a political commissar by the party. These things used to mean something.
What does a political commissar do, buddy?
The old man does not answer. He tilts his silver head and looks at the reeds. You see a small tremor pass through his legs.
His job was to assure the army answers to civilian control and follows the ideology of the Commune.
The lieutenant says softly.
Scientific communism. A commissaire politique is a knight philosopher of the revolution, a future human.
Awakened from shutdown by the promise of ideology.
So you're a trained communist.
He nods slowly, then another tremor.
I'm also a communist.
No, you're not. You're a liberast.
I do happen to be a little less
You should
crazy than you.
engage him about inframaterialism. Impress him with all the ideas you picked up from the reading group.
I shouldn't, because he follows some much older version of communism.
No, don't. This man does not subscribe to intellectual daydreams. The communism he mourns is a planetary force.
Liberast?
Liberal and a pederast. It's what most liberals are.
Not I'm a
Detective,
communist.
we have not come here to discuss ideology.
Yes, Skim, sorry.
We have come to ask questions regarding a murder investigation.
The old man spits into the fire pit. He does not say anything more. A jitter passes his lower body. There's definitely something off with his body. Something more than just metabolism, or even cancer.
He poisoned himself? Possible. 43
43
man?
years and 10 months.
It's my whole bloody life.
It's too long. It's not how a human being should live. But I couldn't just forget what I saw.
What have you been doing during all this time?
Hiding, fishing, waiting.
He looks across the water.
Where the afternoon grows late, on Rue de Saint-Ghislain, people walk home. Street lights will soon be lit. Further inland, the streets are alive with workers, men, women, children, street hawks and migrant laborers. The temperature is steady. Alto cumulus clouds form above Precinct 41.
Always waiting.
The old man turns his eyes from the shore and back to you. For what?
For her to return.
Her?
Her who?
Girl child. Revolution.
Girl child revolution?
Always.
I'm afraid she's gone.
The material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind and themselves. The historic opportunity for a revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore, however hard I try, whatever I do.
Okay, I have
There's
a non-ideology
nothing
question, I
serious
think.
in this world. It's a farce.
What you been using this gun for?
I've used it for killing people.
Yeah, that sounds
Killing
right.
people?
It's a gun. That's what they're for. You want a moralist euphemism? Defending your family and your property. I haven't done that. I've used it to kill people.
Interesting. During or after the war?
There is no after the war. Class war is never over.
Well, he's
So
hardcore,
it's
I'll give him
continued
that.
killing after hostilities ended. Okay, okay. This is it. You can feel it, like battery acid on the tip of your tongue. Something you haven't felt in a while. But
What?
this is what you live for. This is the shit.
We're about to solve a
The
case.
great serotonin
Yeah.
jackpot. The solution.
The solution,
Go
baby.
in straight. No euphemisms. He doesn't like those. No, no. Be careful now. Slow and steady does it. Make him repeat it first. Don't mess this up. Remember, he wants to tell you. Get personal.
I know you want to tell me. You kill anyone with that gun in the last week or two?
I don't want to tell you anything, you grotesque murderer.
Okay.
And why did you think that was a good idea? Don't listen to me. I'm wrong all the time.
That is true. Okay. Did you use the gun to shoot and kill a colonel of the security contractor Krenel?
The who now?
God damn it. Leans in and cups his ear.
He heard you. He just wants to hear you say it again. This is dramatic flair on his part. Right choice. We're in. Do it, sire.
The corpse in ceramic armor hanging behind the whirling in rags. Did you shoot him?
Oh, yes. That one. Ugly piece of work, that boy.
Did you kill him?
The lieutenant takes a sudden step toward him.
I am a son of a welder and an officer of the commune of Revachol. I do not collaborate with murderers and pederasts of the liberal regime.
I see.
A drop of blood in the saliva.
Yeah, he's dying.
Exhaust him with proof. Pile it all on him. Get a confession. The scent of blood in the air. But what else? There was something you can't remember. Something about the tracks. Suddenly, all those tracks are so confusing. Go with something else first.
We've done the ballistics. The shot came from this
I
island.
saw you poking around there, looking for evidence. You're damn diligent when it comes to dead fascies. Did you like the view?
You had direct visibility. There are embrasures in the concrete, specifically meant for a top follower to use. And you had a long-range rifle in your possession.
The lieutenant softens his voice.
You've been here a long time, Mr. Dross. Too long. You clearly need medical aid.
I'm ready to die. I've done my part.
He's practically admitting to it. Dead fascists for fascists. Done his part.
Yeah, he almost certainly did
Just one thing remains unclear. The rifle does not seem to have a scope.
One thing, buddy. How did you make the shot without a scope?
Forget about your stupid fucking scope. I don't know where it is.
Oh, right.
Find it yourself. It's your problem now.
I guess it is,
He
yeah.
lost it. He just doesn't know where it is. Forget it. Push on.
Best on interrupted line of sight into that window in all Martinez.
Because it's a sniper's nest, you stupid fuck. Radio Gosh is right. You have worms in your brain.
Another sudden twitch, then one more. One in his right eye. What the hell am I feeling?
Wait, here it comes. The goddamn Maybells. The dried Maybells on Clausia's roof.
Oh, yeah.
There were Maybells in the grass when you got here. They're revolutionary symbols from the war.
Did he sneak over just to plant Maybells?
Nowhere else, nowhere in all of Martinez have you seen them this spring. Wait, don't forget the footprints. The diagonal prints in the dust in the secret space behind Clausia's bedroom. Now they're gonna come up.
Of course, thank you, Head, thank you.
got it. Remember, the boot prints were like no modern soul.
Ah,
Maybe don't beat yourself anymore, though. You're not immortal. Nothing
Fine idea.
else comes up. You see the lieutenant watch you try to stimulate thought processes by hitting yourself. I'm sorry, this didn't do anything. Usually hurting yourself does.
no, it
Officer, a word?
doesn't. Excuse us a moment, Mr. Dross. What, Kim? Thanks for watching, detectives. New parts will be up every other day, or you can watch live on Twitch. If you did enjoy, consider leaving a like and subscribing. And have a nice day, detectives. This is Sea Lord Agenda, signing off.